They say a third won't do no harm. That's why they say third time's the charm. It's episode 3 of Thought Sprinkles.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Oh!
All right. Seth, Leslie, and Caleb are the Thought Sprinkles. We're back for episode 3.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, we don't know what we're going to talk about till after.
We are going into this with no planning whatsoever. Great.
Yeah,
As we do with all things.
It's
Yes.
it's a late night talk session between bros.
Yep. We just recorded this
And
right after
Leslie.
episode 2.
Hey. I'm a bro.
I'm just joking around, man.
Oh, right.
Come on. I'm just trying to crack a joke. Go with the flow, man.
This under a blanket.
Okay.
Okay.
You look
Good luck.
way more comfortable than either of us.
I am. I might fall asleep.
Okay.
Can you hear the thunder? It's about to rain again.
Ooh. Mood weather.
Yeah, we have the
It's
window
like
open.
mood lighting. Mood whiting.
Moon
It's
whiting.
like wood whiteling.
Mood
like-
whiting.
mood whiting, but way harder.
White out for mood.
Yes.
Okay.
When you
I
don't
call
feel
that
like feeling things.
sleeping.
Mood whiting. Call it sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah. That is common. Now.
Wow.
Why did you do that?
What a good
That is common.
something.
I don't know what happened. I missed what I just did.
Prepare for nonsensical talking and smacking of lips.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, change something here.
That sounds like we're all gonna be making out. That's gross.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Who would like to start us off first?
My brain is empty. I'm just here to react hilariously to all the things y'all is saying.
Let's see. Oh, we had Popeyes today.
Papa, yes.
Papa, yes.
Popeyes.
I
Yes.
never had Popeyes before until today.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, it was good.
Just good.
It wasn't spectacular. Like it didn't stand out to me like this is a place I must go all the time now. It was just kind of it was good. Like I'd go again for sure.
Yeah.
But it didn't blow me away.
I've
now
had
I'm
times like
sad.
that. Most
Good.
movies happen like that, but except for one exception of Avengers Endgame, but movies do that to me a lot. It's like they're good, but like I watch them again, but they don't blow me away.
Avengers Endgame didn't blow you away?
No, Avengers Endgame was one of the few movies that did blow me away.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the original Avengers, which is now on Netflix.
Not a sponsor. Speaking of sponsors, today we're sponsored by the color yellow.
Which is where in this room?
Nowhere.
The globe.
Oh, there's some yellow on that Nerf gun over there.
Nerf gun.
Nerf gun.
And
Nerf
that
gun.
Nerf gun.
There's a couple yellow books.
Yeah.
My
They're-
phone case is yellow.
This this Lego speeder bike is part yellow.
See, there's lots of yellow things.
Yellow is my favorite color right now.
It's your favorite color right
Except
now?
on the screen. The screen that we just woke up is not yellow.
There's yellow on the folder thingy. Wait, I'm not wearing my glasses. What is that?
Yeah. There's
It's-
folder in the Audacity. There's yellow in the Audacity logo. There's folder in the Audacity logo.
There's folder in the Yeldacity.
The Audacity.
Wow. Anyway,
Yike!
The Audacity.
so your favorite color changes?
Oh, all the time. It was
you guys
red
talk
for
about
a
this?
really long time.
Did you guys talk about this while I was gone?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
He
So-
went to the rain chamber again.
Yeah.
420! Okay.
Okay.
Anyway. Hey, don't kick my cookies.
Sorry.
Or my book. Stop kicking my stuff.
I don't know it's there.
Continues to kick it.
I didn't know.
I'm moving it out of the way.
By kicking it.
I'm nudging, not kicking.
A kick is just a violent nudge with your foot.
That's
That makes that
the
noise.
definition of kick.
Yes. And punch. Only with your fist.
Kick puncher.
Nice.
That's got to be one of my favorite shows.
Kick puncher.
Yeah. The movie.
It's like
No.
a real show.
No, Community.
Community is amazing.
Yeah.
That's like 95% of all of the references I make to myself in my head are community references.
It's a good show filled with great things.
It's so good.
There we go.
Like Kick Puncher. Your chair is so loud.
Just making myself more comfortable.
Everything
Good.
that comes from your side of the room is the loudest thing.
It's not getting picked up.
Being
It's
recorded.
nothing but blank line.
Okay.
We shall see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
See? It's not picking it up.
I heard it.
We should boost it. And then
So it's like the only thing
Okay.
you can hear.
this is an odd sight.
Papa, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Opinions on Gatorade. Go.
Gatorade.
That's your opinion?
I
Not a sponsor.
am not familiar with all the Gatorade flavors. I don't even know what blue is supposed to taste
That's
like.
not an opinion.
Hold on.
What do
Let
you
the man
think
finish his
about it?
sentence.
I don't have an opinion. I haven't tasted all the flavors. I don't know what blue is supposed to be.
Okay, so the one that you have tasted, what were your thoughts?
Orange. Could be could be a little stronger. I don't know.
Watery. I like it.
I have a Gatorade bottle that's filled with water right now. But the red, which is fruit punch, is actually pretty good.
I don't need like the rundown of all of them. I was just thinking Gatorade is like a brand.
Gatorade
fine. It's
as
fine.
a concept.
It's good.
Okay.
I haven't used it after exercise, so I can't judge its effectiveness in that field. But it's tasty.
Nice. I like it.
I just get it for tastiness.
That's a good reason to buy something.
I love it.
Tastiness.
I don't like it that much. I'm
No?
gonna be honest. It's only kind of okay. I would rather drink regular water or tea. Can you stop moving while I'm talking? Every time you move, it's like,
It doesn't pick it up.
yes, it does.
No, it don't. Maybe
I-
it do. I don't know.
I promise, everything Seth is doing is getting picked up.
But it's not showing up.
That doesn't mean it's not getting picked up.
I say you're being too uptight.
And even if it is, it's
That's
too
fair.
quiet for the viewers to care.
Anyway, I think Gatorade is not amazing, but I'd take it over Powerade. That's all I wanted to say. Anyway,
Great.
you guys want to hear a story?
Yay.
Yeah. What is the title of this story?
This one's called The Broken Crayon.
Dun, dun, dun.
I couldn't remember all the details to the story until I was talking with my family. They remembered more than I did, so thanks to them. So, I was in grade 9, and one day, the school decided to do a theme dress day. Okay, and
Been to one of those.
it was designated by class. So each class had a different theme, and our class got Crayola crayons,
That was your theme?
which is a very interesting theme. But that's what we picked. And I was like, I'm gonna be the navy blue crayon.
Nice.
Very good choice.
Yeah.
Very sleek. Cool.
Now, here's the catch. I failed to tell my parents about this until the day of.
Oh,
So
no.
I woke up on the day of this theme dress day. I was like, I need a costume. And we scrambled, and I wore the only blue things I had, which I don't think were matching. We printed out like a sticker that I wore on my chest that was like Crayola. And we made a cone hat out of navy construction paper. I looked actually exactly like a crayon.
Okay.
I don't have any pictures of this. I wish I
feel
did.
like I might remember this.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, and so I was all excited. I looked really cool. And we went off to school. And I get to school, and I'm walking up the staircase to get to our classroom. and I begin to notice something.
Oh.
I notice that I'm the only one in costume.
Oh no.
And I turn to my friend and I say, "Isn't it a themed dress day today?" And she says, "What are you wearing?" It, at this very moment, clicked in my mind. The themed dress day was a week from now. I completely failed. My brain short-circuited, and I was certain that today was the day. I was a week too early. Now, I handled this very well. I ran as fast as I could while taking off all of my clothes, and I hid in the bathroom in tears. And I was in the washroom in a stall, locked for so long. The teachers called my parents. Well, they called my mom.
Don't close it all the way.
And she came and she brought my uniform, because the school I went to, we had uniforms. And she brought my uniform, and they spent a long time trying to convince me that it was okay to stay at school, and no one noticed. I was devastated. I wanted to go home and never come back. It was truly... That would have been so heartbreaking.
Heart baking.
Oh man, I remembered that story totally differently until, because I remembered I was the one that called my parents. I was not. It was the school, because I hid.
No. I just got reminded of another story from school.
Hold on, I didn't tell you the moral of the story.
Go for it.
Don't smell crayons. They smell disgusting, and I hate the smell of crayons. Anyway.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna keep this one short because So basically, I had forgotten my backpack, so I called my mom, and would it be okay for me to just substitute names? Okay. So I call my mom, and I'm trying to think of a substitute name.
Jerry.
Yep.
It's a female name.
Jerry. Lynn.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Ooh.
That was fancy.
Thunder. Okay. So what happened was I called my mom, and then she was like you gotta remember this stuff, and then it keeps going on until she calls me Jerry, and it was like, whoops, I'm not Jerry Lynn. Click. Just hang up. I had dialed the wrong number, but thank God it wasn't someone from another school, because
How did you do that?
I don't know. I think her number and my number were pretty close, and it was just.
Did you dial out of the school directory?
I think I don't know how that happened, because our last names don't start with the same letter. Well, all I know is that we use the school phone. I don't know how that happened.
Wait,
What?
okay, we'll edit this out, but tell me who it was actually.
It was
Oh.
You gotta remember this stuff. Nice.
yeah. She was like, you gotta remember the stuff. Whoops, like and I called my real mom. And
Your real mom, not
everything
your
was fine.
fake one.
Everything was fine. She was like, it's like, okay. She was a lot more chill about this.
Than Jerry's mom.
Yeah. Than the Jerry. Yeah, that was that wasn't too embarrassing at the time, but
Looking back, it's like, ooh.
it's not as much as ooh moment as just like shaking my head while smiling, like.
Just a childish blunder, I guess.
Yeah. I've had worse.
I want to think of a school story. Oh.
Begin telling the story.
So, when I was in grade 2, I wasn't really like a troublemaker. I just did things that I wanted to do
Right.
without thinking of the consequences at all.
Okay.
So it's like the middle of grade 2, and I like went to the bathroom, and like after I was done, I was standing there in the stall, and I was like, what if I just crawled underneath? That would be cool. So I did. I crawled under, and it was still locked. And I like washed my hands. I go back to class, and I'm like, sick. That was so much fun. And I sit down. I'm not thinking about any other human being. I'm just like, that was a fun way of getting out of there.
I had fun today.
Exactly. And then I did it again the next day. And then the day after that, I locked every single stall.
Oh, you upgraded.
In the like girls' bathroom. And then crawled out. So they were all locked and nobody was in any of them.
That's amazing.
Again, this was not, it wasn't malicious at all. I just was this is cool.
This is fun for me.
I'm having fun.
It's a game.
What is other people? So
All fun and games until...
I did this for literally like a week.
What?
And then finally, we're all sitting there in the classroom, and the principal comes in one day, and our teacher's like, our principal has something to say to us, class. And she's like, listen, you
Delinquents.
you delinquents, somebody is locking all of the stalls in the bathroom. And I'm like sitting there just sweating. I'm like not making eye contact with anybody. I'm
'Cause
like,
you know
I
it's
did
new.
that!
Crap.
It was me!
Dang.
Like you should
And
have
then-
confessed? Or...
No, I didn't. I didn't think about like the consequences for other people, and then I also
We just tipped something over.
I
Alrighty.
also didn't confess unless my guilt absolutely made me do it.
Right.
Like I'd just sit there and stew in my guilt and feel bad for weeks and not confess because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, of course, no kid wants to be in trouble.
No.
Oh.
So really, in the end, I punished myself
What
by
did you
sitting
do?
there and feeling bad. Well, I went up to the teacher after class, and I was like, little misty-eyed me, all feeling bad about what I did. I'm sorry. It was me. And then my teacher was like, okay, don't do it again. I'm not gonna tell anyone. Like, just stop.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. And then I never did.
Well, good.
Cut here. Which teacher was it?
Miss Yao.
Ah.
Which, actually, it was surprising that my teacher was so chill, because she was not a very chill teacher. It was super out of character for her. I, went up to her fully expecting, I was like, I'm going to get detention, probably, and she's going to call my mom. Great. And she didn't do either of those things. It was a good day.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Pass me the jelly
Okay.
thing.
Jelly?
Yes, I want to sit on it.
Yeah.
Pokey end up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, while Caleb readjusts. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I feel like a giant
While-
in like a kid's room. It's like,
Okay, does anyone in this room have any stories that include another person in this room? Like, if you tell a story and another person in this room was involved.
Not from my list.
Like,
But
Leslie, do you have a story that involves Caleb or me?
that would go way back in time. I'd have to
Back
think.
in the year 24.
When dinosaurs rolled and so anyway,
Okay.
oh, I was at a bar one time.
Okay.
This was not too long ago during the NBA Finals, which Raptors won. Go Canada!
Nice. That's a Canadian team?
Lightning.
And I was watching one of the games. Actually, it was a highlight reel of one of the games, and this lady beside me, very intoxicated,
Oh no.
she kept calling the NBA Finals the World Series.
What's World Series, football or?
I think that's soccer.
Yeah.
Well,
NBA.
for you British folks, it's football.
Football.
Which is the NBA?
It's just the NBA Finals.
Well, what is NBA?
Oh, okay. So it's the National Basketball Association,
Okay,
which
so
is
it's
just
basketball.
Canada and the USA.
Okay.
That's all that. Oh man, it was just so funny. He's like, I can't wait for the Raptors to win the World Series.
It's like,
Yeah.
Wrong sport, lady.
Oh man, I didn't tell her. I just let her do her thing.
Yeah. It's like, you do you.
I go to bars to observe people.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious
Yeah.
every time. It's so funny,
People are hilarious.
especially when they're drunk. It's
Yeah.
just so funny every time.
Are you looking at
at
me?
me. Well, okay.
Carry on.
The first time I ever went to a bar, I went with my dad on my 21st. No, because I'm 21 now.
That must have been your 20th.
On my 20th.
You hadn't gone to a bar before your...
I know. I'm
Oh.
a bit of a late bloomer. Sorry. Our wires are tangled.
Our wires. We're getting
It's
our
not
wires
that
crossed.
Yikes, that was really bad.
Anyway, you went to a bar on your 20th with your father.
Yes, for the first time ever. Not because I didn't want to, just because I hadn't gotten around to it yet.
Okay, fair enough.
And I was like, cocktails sound nice because I know I don't like beer,
Right.
but I like whiskey.
Ooh, I like
I
a
know
good
I
whiskey.
like whiskey.
Good whiskey.
Whiskey and rum. I have a really nice rum.
I love rum.
Oh, it's
Rum is my favorite. I'm like a pirate.
Should
I have
have-
like 3 different rums in my bag.
Have you ever tried Mount Gay?
Not yet.
What is that?
It's the one I have. The only like liquor that I own right now. And I bought it mostly for the name. But also because my one friend was like, that's actually pretty good. And I was like, yes. Anyway, so I just got like a cocktail.
Okay.
And I was like, sick. This is cool. This is fun.
But you weren't sick.
I wasn't sick, no. But I'm not like a big person.
Right.
I think on like in the broad spectrum of people, I'm on the smaller end.
Right, okay.
And I'd never really had very much alcohol at one point
Right.
up until that point. So when I ordered the second cocktail, I wasn't thinking at all about what the consequences of that might be. I was sitting next to my dad, desperately trying not to burst into laughter. Nothing was even happening that was funny. I was like, I wanted to giggle.
Oh, you're a really happy drunk.
So happy.
Off 2 drinks?
Off 2 drinks.
Oh, you're a lightweight.
Yeah.
I'm a lightweight. I'm a hardcore lightweight. So I'm like
2 drinks will get you drunk, huh?
literally sitting there and I'm like trying really, 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 really hard not to laugh. Nothing funny is happening and I'm
Just
like
gives you
trying
the
to
giggles.
I'm just trying to like hold up a regular conversation with my dad and I'm like, yep. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna go to the like bathroom and splash water on my face. That's what people do in movies when they've had too much to drink. So I stand up and I almost fell over.
2 drinks. Wow. Dang, I'm a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been drunk ever.
Me neither.
I've been tipsy. I like being tipsy.
Well,
I think that's like
it's kind of fun. Anyway, but as far as I'm concerned, my max is 9
9 what?
drinks.
9 shots.
So, well, okay, so it's alcohol. You don't measure it by like I had 3 beers and a cocktail. It's just drinks. So
Yeah, shots.
1 beer is the equivalent of 1 shot.
Okay.
It's the same amount. There's more alcohol in the shot, but you're
But-
having more beer, so
Yeah.
it's just 1 drink. So you just count your drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 drinks total.
Yeah.
I like it.
Although in a row, I
Yeah,
think
one
9
after
drinks would be
another
all-
and like
Yeah.
couple hours is probably not.
Yeah, no.
But like over a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the span of, I'd say, 3 hours.
I'm a super lightweight.
Yeah, I don't want to find out what I am.
No.
I've never been to a pub, and I
No,
don't know.
yes, you have.
We went to a pub, not a bar.
You said you'd never been to a pub.
Well, I meant to say bar. I
Well,
meant to say bar.
now that we're all caught up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I stand up to go to the bathroom to try to calm down.
Right.
Like, I almost fall over as soon as I stand up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I can't even see at this point.
Oh.
Like, I can see, but my eyes, it feels like I can't see, but I can see. It just feels like I'm like, I can't see right now.
It's like it's going through, but it's not getting into your.
Yeah, it's
head.
like, so I'm walking and I'm like, oh my gosh. The whole time I'm trying so hard not to laugh. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. And I'm like, this is not funny. Nothing is funny. This is actually just a little bit scary. Why am I trying not to laugh? I'm like, what is going on? And then, so I calm down a little bit. And then my dad, I'm pretty sure he could
knew.
tell.
Of course
He knew. He's like, anyway. So we drive home and I'm sitting there and I'm like pressing myself into the seat, still trying not to laugh. It's so dumb. So
Amazing.
that was the first time that I ever was tipsy. Since then, it has taken a little more than that. But two drink Leslie is a wuss.
2 drink less.
Okay. All right. I'm the only one who's not told the story yet.
You're dying to tell a story, huh?
You told a story.
I told the story last episode, which was
No, I'm
a few
pretty
minutes-
sure.
No, you told the
I
you
told
told
the crayon
Broken
story.
Crayon. You told your school story and your bar story.
You told a school story, which is why I told.
Oh, yeah, because
school
you
story,
told a
'cause
story
you-
about you calling the wrong mom.
Yeah, that was a short story.
It's a story.
Yeah,
You got another story to tell?
you
Is that what
told
you're
two
trying?
stories.
Are
I
you-
think we each should tell one more.
Okay, well.
The
I think-
story episode.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
The story special.
The third episode is a special.
Every third episode. How often do you want to do this?
Just, I don't care.
When we
Just
run
tell
out
your
of
story.
ideas.
When we're run out of subjects, we're just gonna tell stories about our lives.
That was gross. Well, I fake picked my nose. And that, I tried to do like a cartoon character thing where they're just like,
Fake picture.
When we animate this, I'm gonna
Yeah,
post an
well-
animated GIF to the Instagram to show
"You
what
want me
he's
to
what he's
actually
talking
pick
about.
my nose?"
Okay, if you're following the Instagram and not listening to this, it's not gonna make any sense whatsoever on there.
Listening?
What? Okay.
Okay.
Tell it.
I am going to tell a story
Wow.
entitled.
That was really disturbing. Sorry.
I didn't see it.
Good.
Well, I'm not gonna
Oh.
do it again.
All right. I'm going to tell a story entitled "Snow Way Home"
Ooh.
with Leslie.
This is my story.
It's our story.
No, I'm the one in the car.
Yeah, I'm the one you were picking up. Okay.
Get out.
I have
Let's
the
tell it
I have
together.
the beginning. I have the first half and you have the second half.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
tell the part where I
Okay,
start
I'm
driving.
interested.
You tell the part where
Okay.
I'm not driving.
So, before I worked at Co-op.
Sorry. See? Ambient noise. It gets picked up. See?
Now you're interrupting me.
See?
All right, children, relax.
All right, find a comfortable spot and stay there. All right. So, before I worked at Co-op, I worked at the airport, which is we live in the northeast section of town. The airport is in the middle of the city. At least I think.
It's in the top right.
Yeah, top right. That is the northeast area.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, my commute there, I can't drive. I am nowhere close to being able to drive, so I had to take the bus.
Stalling adults.
Yes. And, which means that it takes me, like,
Probably close to an hour.
yeah, pretty much an hour to an hour and a half to get there. I leave an hour and a half early. My shift starts at 7. which means I am out of the house by 5:30. And yeah, it usually takes me about an hour to get there, and I just spend the next 30 minutes like trying to wake up a little bit more or just killing time. But one particular day, anyone who's been in Calgary in the past 5 years is aware of this day, October 2nd, 2018. We get hit with so much snow. This is like the first snowfall. It's so bad that for the next like 2 months, like almost to Christmas, we don't get any snow because it all fell down on that one day. Now,
That's how snow works, right?
I think so. But the thing is, anyone who's familiar with this day knows that 50 buses were out of order. One of mine included. I take 2 buses there.
That was awesome. I hope that picked up.
That was so cool.
That was a thunderstrike. Thor is here, just like last night.
I thought it was
A bear.
Bear. The battle bear
It was the battle bear.
of the lion's blaze. Ha ha.
Said the Swinburne.
Okay. Okay, that's going on the outtake. Anyway, I take 2 buses to work. So I go to the first bus stop, and I'm standing there watching the snowfall, and I'm checking the watch. I keep checking it. The bus is not showing up. So I call my mom, and she's like, okay, maybe the snow's shut down some of the buses. And the City Transit website allows you to track buses. So she does that for me. And she texts me when's a bus is supposed to come in. The first bus eventually comes. So I get on that bus, and then we go off, and we take a little detour, and I arrive at the second bus stop. Now, here's where things start to get annoying. Usually, the bus arrives before sunrise, before the sky even starts lighting up. Like, before the sky even turns from black to blue, my bus arrives. I've been standing there for an hour. The sun is already up, and no bus.
Oof.
So I am just standing there. It's like, dang it! Like every half hour, I'm just calling, just like, okay, I may show up like a half an hour late. I was like, I may show up half an hour later. Yeah, transit's being a bee, and
I'm getting rid of the bee.
and then so I call mom. Is like, would you be able to drive me over? And then she sends Leslie to drive me over. This is where Leslie comes in.
This is where Leslie enters the stage looking fantastic.
So just to clarify, I was at there are 2 churches that go by the same name. They are probably the same establishment, but one is not being used anymore. It's called Center Street Church.
I thought I was telling this part of the story.
Yes, you are. Go.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I get a call from Seth. I think something happens, and I'm going to pick up Seth. And I have a car. Technically, it's a car. It is the smallest, tiniest silver sedan you've ever seen. Like, think of the smallest silver sedan you've ever seen, and then make it smaller, and that's my car.
It's adorable.
It's really cute. It's so tiny, and it's really old. It's almost as old as me.
Are we talking smart car size?
Well, longer than a smart car,
Yeah.
but just as powerful as a
Like
smart car. So
Like a mini.
it's really small, and it's not very powerful, and it's old, and it's standard. So I've never actually driven on the snow before in this car because I got it in the summer, and this is the first snowfall ever. And
Of the year.
I don't have my winter tires on because it's like the beginning of October.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's still warm. It came out of nowhere. So I'm not thinking at all. It actually was really stupid to go out in the storm. I should have just been like, sorry.
Yeah,
buddy.
that was not a good idea.
Anyway, so I get in my car, and every street that I turn onto is the slowest street in the world. Nothing is moving. Everybody's like, what is going on? Nobody has their winter tires on. Everybody's on summers. So they're like flooring it and their car is moving like 2 kilometers an hour. And
I'll make sound effects.
I pass probably like 12 cars just like stuck in the ditch. People are just abandoning them. Half of them are empty. They're just like, bye.
I know what day
I
you're...
saw a bus skid out of control. It just like it's
The
a bendy
city-
bus, so it's bent in one direction. It was stuck at a stop for like 15 minutes, and then someone finally freed it.
Oh boy.
The city looked like an apocalyptic wasteland.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
It was something else. So I'm driving, and I think I called Seth or texted him or something, which again, stupid. Eyes on the road, Leslie, what the heck? Dumbass. Anyway,
Are we
I
gonna censor
like
that part?
texted him, and I was like, "You should. It's gonna take me a long time because nobody knows how to drive, including me. We've all forgotten." And he's at Center Street Church. Now, the thing about Center Street Church is that it is actually there's more than one of them.
There's 2 campuses in
So-
very distant locations.
Telling it.
Carry on.
Okay. So when people say Center Street Church, most of them think of the West Campus.
Yes, the bigger and original one.
Yeah, the big one, the original one. So what they decided to do after they built the first one is that they would build a smaller second one up the street from the first one. It's so close. It's ridiculous.
I think
So-
I was at the West one, but
No,
talking
there's
about the bigger
The
one?
West one is the bigger one. The North Campus is the smaller one.
Yeah, I was at the smaller one.
To the. Let me tell it.
okay, it's my story too.
I know, but I'm telling it better.
Okay.
Okay. So I get to the West Campus, and he's not there. And I'm like, maybe he's in the back. So I drive around the whole thing, and he's not there. And I call him, and I say, "You're at Center Street?" And he's like, "Yes." And then I drive around, and he's still not there. And I'm like, "You're not at Center Street." I don't know where you are, but it's not Center Street. It took me probably 15 minutes to figure out that there were 2 of them right next to each other. It was really dumb.
Like the thought went through my head: what if we had gotten trapped in separate dimensions, but we're still able to call each other,
That sounds
like Stranger Things?
I'd watch that movie. I like it. Anyway, so I finally pick him up. I find him and I'm like, "Get in!" And he gets in, and then we start driving. And maybe 2 minutes after I pick him up, there is the ice, and I'm driving, and there's somebody in front of me, and he stops, and I don't, because I have summer tires on, and I like run into the back of his car very gently. It was not like nothing, no airbags went off. It was fine.
Right, just a small like bump.
It was just a bump, and I was like, "No, I don't wanna."
Yeah, because now you got to talk to the guy.
Now I gotta talk to him, and now we gotta like, he's gonna stand there and pretend that the scratch that's not even where I hit him is from my car, so he can get it fixed. And like, I know exactly what's gonna happen. So I'm just like, kind of gritting my teeth, and I look up, and he has just driven away.
He knew that.
He was like,
"Listen, it's winter."
He's straight up.
He could have been a douchebag about it.
I've had that happen to me twice, actually. Okay, that's a story time for another. Anyway,
For neither time,
for another time.
That's a story for another time.
either this next time or the other next time. Neither time.
Neither. You'll never hear it.
You'll never know.
So I hit him. He just drives off, and I'm like, sick. I am not gonna argue with that. So we keep going.
By the way, there was no damage.
Yeah, no damage. My car was fine. My car's a bit of a beast. She's
baby
small, but she's
beast.
powerful. Her name is Curtis. Anyway, so we're driving. And it's like, it's going okay. It's going really, really slow, but it's going.
Actually, I noticed that the fuel is a little low.
You noticed?
And I noticed that we're driving past the gas station. It's like, shouldn't it be a good idea to refuel just a little bit, or are we running that low on time?
See, this would have been a great thing to say out loud with your mouth, because I totally didn't even notice that I was running out of gas at all.
Oh, yes.
So,
Like, I didn't want to, like, I'm careful about that kind of stuff. It's like, I know we're already in a rush. I don't want to rush us even further, but
I might not have. Yeah. Okay, so
carry on.
we're driving, and to get to the airport from the road that we're on, there's like this ramp that goes. It's a flyover, so it goes up over the road.
Over the bridge.
It's a bridge.
Yeah.
And I like start driving my car up. Keep in mind it's the middle of the worst snowstorm, and I have my summer tires on. I got stuck.
9/10 of the way up.
We were so close, and then some idiot in a Dodge Charger comes driving the wrong way on the road
What?
the heck?
toward us.
The wrong way?
And that's why I had to stop. If I hadn't had to stop, we would have made it, and I would have run out of gas on the way home by myself. So actually, maybe it was a good thing that he did do that. So I stop, and I'm halfway up the hill, and I'm like, like everything in my brain, I'm just so mad.
Get your fuzz bucket.
And I can't get going again. I can't get going. I'm like pressing in the gas, and it's not working, and it's on a hill, and we'd like go up a little bit and then rock back, and then finally we're not even moving at all, and I'm just flooring it at this point. And I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but I'm so frustrated that I just want to make my car make a loud noise.
Just go getting over it.
You know? And then my car turns off. And I'm like, excuse me? And I try to turn it back on, and it's not doing anything. It makes like a gurgle and then turns off again. And I'm like, no, Curtis, no!
We are empty.
It's totally empty. So I call my dad, and I'm like, you will not believe what's happening right now. Everything is wrong. It's awful.
Okay, and at this point, Leslie looks over and told me, you might as well just at least call. Let me try that again.
Okay.
You might as well call in sick to work at this point. At this rate, it's going to take you like 8 o'clock to get home. By the way, my shift ended at 2 o'clock, and I usually got home by 4. So just to put that in perspective. So I call my work, and I was just like, okay, I'm not going to be able to make it to work at this point. And carry on.
Just disclaimer, I did not tell him to lie to his work and say that he was sick. I told him.
You just said to just say you're not going to make it.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Should have gone along with it. Would have been a better story.
I never remember the exact syntax of what anybody said in memory.
No, that's fine.
That's a problem, because if I have to remember instructions,
Just make it up, man.
You just gotta be like, probably this.
You got to use that common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense. Where was I? So we're stuck on the hill. I have called my dad, and I'm sitting there, and I am fuming. I am.
Like the smoke's coming out of your ears.
Oh man, I'm so mad. And then this NPC comes like this straight up like guy out of an apocalypse video game comes up in this old beat up truck, and he pulls up and he stops in front of me. It's not particularly cold, so I'm standing outside just kind of like waiting for my dad, because I'm like, this is stupid, and kicking snow helps me feel better. And he comes up and he stops in front of me, and he gets out, and it's this like kind of older guy, and he's wearing like really big like steel-toed work boots.
Oh, he's prepared
and like
for this.
and he's got like the
He was
flannel
waiting
with
for
the,
this to happen.
the
Lucky
fleece on the
flannel.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his car is like kind of rusty, but you know that thing's like not dying for another 12 or 14
Right, he keeps
years.
good care of it.
Yeah,
like
dude.
the inside is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And he comes up to me. He's just got like the most like nice face ever. And he's like, "Do you need help?" And I was like, kind of. And he was like, why don't you come back to my place? And I was like, oh no, this has very quickly changed. What? I'm sorry.
Oh no.
What do you mean?
Ah, he turned out to be evil.
No, he's the
Damn
one
it.
that eats people.
No.
Curse
Anyway.
it, splash it.
So I was like, well, I had someone's coming. I'm like really
Good
trying to
save.
be like,
No,
I know
no,
what
no.
I'm doing. Just me, this small 20-year-old woman, and you, scary man, who I thought
Yeah,
was going to be
suddenly
nice.
scary man. Yeah. Oh.
And boy in the car.
And boy in the car. I don't know if he even knew that you were there.
No, I think I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But he was like, well, like, you call a tow truck and then you can come wait at my place because it's, like, it's cold out here. And I was like, no, it's not.
Your place
It
is
wasn't
not
that
the
cold,
only
I think.
safe haven.
My car is fine.
Good
So I'm like-
grief. This guy was really pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
So then I was like, well, like, my dad is coming. And I was like, Dad, scare him away, please. I'm going to throw the word dad into this sentence a few more times. What is going on? I'm not, like, scared because we're in the middle of a road and it's the middle of the day and, like,
Yeah, no.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's really nothing
No
you
one's
can
gonna
do.
pull
mostly
anything.
I was disappointed that he wasn't, like,
Here to help you pull your car to safety.
yeah. And he was like, well, I could go get you some gas. I have a jerry can in the back of my car. That was the first time I'd ever heard that word. And I was like, I'm going to remember that.
Jerry.
Jerry can.
The Jerry.
And then I named him Jerry in my mind. Anyway.
What a Jerry.
So, like, frick. It was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Dad finally shows up. He's got gas. The guy
In a Jerry
left.
can.
Oh, good.
Eventually, I was like, it's okay, sir. Please don't take me back to your dungeon. So, Dad comes. He fills up my car. And I back up down the hill, and we just went home.
No, like first you just cried in his arms.
That's an important detail.
No, I did.
I didn't
not.
cry in his arms.
What?
Yeah, you just ran up, hugged him, and then just
What are you talking
Just-
about?
No.
just so done with it. I remember
I
this
would-
explicitly.
I'm being sarcastic.
We can get that out if you want.
Nah, it's fine. It's funnier. Yes. We survived, though. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Okay,
Spoiler alert.
there is a bit of a continuation.
Mm.
So afterwards, we decide, why don't we just? At this point, we're just so
That's right.
done, and we just like, why don't we just drive through McDonald's, get something just to cheer ourselves up, and then, like at McDonald's, they had these cookies. I have never gotten a McDonald's cookie before, like those little heart cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think you ordered like a cappuccino or something.
Probably.
And then, so we place our order. She's like, we tell us to pull forward. We can't.
Again.
We get stuck in the drive-through.
Oh,
And
what
we're
a
just like,
conclusion.
no, come on. It's just, and eventually the employees help us out, and then we just hightail it back on. We don't even get our stuff.
I didn't pay for it either, though, so I'm like,
You
Yeah,
just left.
don't
yeah.
care.
And then we did not stop. We did not even break until we got home.
I didn't stop for the stop sign.
It's just.
Oh,
Because I
you were
couldn't.
just done, huh?
And then we finally make it home. It's like it's like noon-ish, I think.
Yeah, you've got like 2 hours left in your shift.
Yeah. And then we just chill for the rest of the day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I also have a story from that exact day.
Don't we
It's not even close to as epic. I
That's
as
really
well.
long.
I also didn't have a car at that point in time. And so I've taken transit to work as I used to do. And again, the apocalyptic wasteland. There's like buses like on the side of the road that are down.
Pointing
One was
sideways.
like sideways on the bridge, and we had to like
Whoa.
go around. Yeah, and we had a delivery that day, and so I was just
Ooh.
out in the pouring. I got to work in
the pouring snow?
the pouring snow, and it was 2 flats just filled with Tim Hortons items, and they were covered in snow. Like a lot of the boxes were ruined and stuff, and like
man,
falling
all-
apart in my hands.
Soggy donuts.
Yeah.
Yum.
Soggy woggy donuts and sandwiches and I'm trying to think of something else that's supposed to be dry there.
Coffee.
Donuts.
Oh.
I meant to say cookie. Not donuts.
Keep going.
That's all there is.
Oh,
That's it.
I told you. See, I told you.
that's it?
I told you it was not as cool as yours.
Uh,
Oh no.
okay.
Hey,
Wait.
look in front of you.
I've got
You're the only one in history of the universe who ever had and will have this exact view.
Are you sure?
I mean, if someone moves into this exact same spot, I mean,
Yeah, but
well,
no.
experience-wise,
That's true.
I just read it and I was like, oh, that might be cool.
actually, that reminds me of another subject. Do reflections and shadows lag?
Say that one more time.
Do reflections lag? Do shadows lag?
No.
But on the scale of like planets and stuff, if you put a mirror in front of a planet, would that reflection lag?
No.
It's light.
Light is
But
too
if
fast.
light takes time to get from one place to another, wouldn't that reflection technically take time to register?
Yes, but that's not lag. That's just the speed of.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying, okay, let's replace. Let's say there's a mirror the same distance away from us as the sun. And we are somehow able to look at ourselves in that mirror. And you waved your hand. The light leaving your hand would take 8 minutes to get to that mirror
and
and
8
8
minutes to
minutes
get
back.
back.
So you would not see yourself wave in that mirror for 16 minutes.
So,
So I guess technically yes.
Mhm.
At that
shadows,
scale.
no.
Well, the speed of light is finite, but it's probably too small to observe. But I'm too far away. It's probably not small enough to calculate. I mean, if you like shone a light at the moon and you waved your hand, the shadow will probably take a second
Oh
to
yeah.
catch up.
Yes, but that
Yes.
would happen at the same speed as the light.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The speed of light is finite, which means that on the scale of the universe, things are going to take time to register. Whereas on Earth, it's small enough so that everything seems instantaneous.
Oh,
Like there is some sound lag already. Like if,
Oh yeah. You don't even have to be very far away.
yeah,
to
if
notice
something,
that.
If something like
Like
yeah,
across the field, if somebody hits a thing
ball,
with
it
a
just-
pole, yeah, you see it and then you hear it, and there's like a noticeable.
Yeah.
gap.
Still incredibly fast,
Yeah.
but nowhere near the speed of light.
So I guess yes.
Technically, yes, Seth. There's the answer to your question.
Yeah.
Wild.
Mhm.
That
Which
was cool.
you had already thought about.
yeah, I just thought you got rather existential, and I had semi-existential.
That wasn't. You want to talk
Subject.
existential?
I don't know.
Let's get
I get
existential.
existential all the time.
Do you?
Like sometimes, like when I'm just like sitting there and just like, this is how the world is experienced. Okay.
Like how? How is the world experienced?
Like with this frame of reference, like this particular viewpoint.
That is all you'll ever know. You'll never
Yes.
see through the lens of someone else.
And
That's infuriating.
but not just that. Like our understanding of language. It's that particular way. I'm trying to think of something a little more accurate. I'm trying to think of something that lines up with what I'm trying to get across. Like we know one perception, but why that perception?
Like Like why are our personalities the way that they are,
Or why is the
So, like, okay, is the question you're trying to ask this? Why do I have to experience the world this way?
well, why do I experience the world this way? Why isn't it some other way? Well, it's not so much a why question, it's just more of an observation. Is like, this is how the universe functions. This is life. And, I can't even put it into words. There's like something like,
it's ineffable.
again, some thought, it's on the same principle. Some thoughts you can think of, but you can't vocalize. Like, our language is too limited for what's up here.
I just learned a word
Okay, good for you.
about that. No, in this book I've been reading. Get out of here
No,
with your ness.
my sarcasticness.
Okay. Ineffable.
Ineffable.
It's a really actually quite useful word. It, I think, is what you're talking about, Seth. It basically means like too great. This is the definition, so it exactly means this: too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words.
His presence was ineffable.
Ooh,
I am ineffable.
I want somebody to describe me as ineffable one day. I could be way cooler than I am. But yeah, like, some concepts are too vast and complicated for our limited language.
Too grand.
Exactly. They're not describable.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Caleb, do you have any full-length stories?
Or existential thoughts you've been thinking lately. That smile was a little sinister.
Yes, I do think about existential things. If you want to get depressed, we could talk about that. So I would elect to not talk about those things on a podcast.
Okay, good call.
Let's not.
Yeah. Do I have a full-length story? I don't feel like telling a story right now.
I have one that involves you, Caleb.
Oh, yeah?
The jalapeno incident.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
It was... You
You
had
weren't there.
graduated from youth already.
Oh man.
This is a youth group story. So, get out of the way, notifications. Okay.
Your computer isn't plugged in anymore.
Oh. Good call. It was at 100% last time. Anyway. Now, at our youth group, during the warm days, we tend to play a lot of games outside. I remember we played this game one time. Basically, it was a race sort of game, but how do I describe it? So, we were split off into partners. Caleb and I were on a team. One person has to sit in where they have a bunch of chairs around a circle, and in the center there's a table full of food and cups. One person has to sit in a chair, and the other person, blindfolded, has to go from the person to the table, grab a cup, bring it back to the person, and mouth feed them while blindfolded. You have
What?
to. You have
We
to.
were both blindfolded.
No, I wasn't blindfolded.
What is mouse
So
feeding?
I had to guide you over to me, and then guide you there and back again. So basically what he had to do is he had to dump the cup into my mouth. The first time around, it was
That
like
is not what I was imagining when I heard mouth feeding.
I used the wrong term again. Okay, so here's
Sorry.
so the first time it happened, it was like alphagetti or something like that.
They were all gross items.
So the first one, I knew from the get-go that this was getting ridiculous, so I just like stopped Caleb as I sort of laugh it off, and then I let him continue. We get through to like the last. I'll skip forward to the last two items. The first the second to last was a lemon. So I eat this lemon, and when I finished eating the lemon, actually it was 2 lemon wedges. You know how when you eat something sour, the sides of your mouth get really sore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I feel that, and it's like, I thought, okay, so the next item, he brings me the last item. I look at it. It appears to be bell peppers. And I thought that they were bell peppers until much, much, much later. So basically, I was like, oh, piece of cake. So I eat these
No, it wasn't. It
quote
was a
unquote
pepper.
bell peppers. So I'm sitting there. So this is basically what's going through my mind from the instant they enter my mouth. Okay, piece of cake. Piece of cake. What the frick is going on? So basically, it's like these peppers just explode with fire in my mouth. It's like
You sound like an angry cat.
that's the only way to describe it. It's just I double over and cough to the ground. Just
Definitely not a
Just
piece
like-
of cake.
it's like it's just so bad. I think your father has footage of this somewhere.
Somewhere, maybe.
So basically, I'm suffering. I'm not sure if we even won. I don't think we won.
What? No, I thought we won. I could have sworn we won that.
Okay.
No, don't take that victory away from me. I've thought this whole time that we won.
Okay. So basically, it takes like 3 cups of cream, 1 cupcake, and a banana to quell this fire.
Voila.
This
Cake.
whole cupcake. 3 cupcakes.
crying. What the heck? Oh no.
It takes 3 cupcakes, and
3 pieces of cake.
okay, so basically, before that, I think before that we went inside the main youth house, we called it, and one of the other girls was like, "Do you need a hug?" Because I was like streaming tears because it was so hot, so spice. It's like, "Do you need a hug?" And it's like, "I'm fine, I'm fine." And then, yeah,
Who asked if you needed a hug?
we'll cut this out. Sage.
Oh.
Gotta get back in. Okay.
Okay.
So-
anyway,
I didn't find out until later that those were actually jalapenos. My working theory up until then was that the lemon, the acid in the lemon had somehow increased the spiciness of the pepper. But
that
now
isn't how
I'm
peppers
pretty sure that was just jalapeno.
fun.
Except
Do you remember, Caleb? Do you remember the marshmallows and mustard?
Yes, that was my first youth event.
I
You
was
had
not
been
there.
in youth for 1 year at that
Yeah.
point.
I bailed on Fear Factor because I am
I-
very sensitive about
Do you want to
Halloween.
tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was
Oh,
before.
I want to tell the story.
You want to tell the
I
story?
kind of want to.
Okay, tell the story. I
I
don't remember a lot of it.
I feel like I remember.
I just remembered looking down at you with. Okay.
So, both of us were very young.
We were babies.
Anyway, once you reach grade 7, you get to become part of this youth group. And my first event was a Fear Factor.
Welcome to youth.
Yeah, the leaders put on this whole. They did a really good job, actually. It was just a bunch of gross things that these kids had to do,
This was the Halloween event.
including drinking Coke through your neighbor's sock. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, that one got real gross real fast.
Yes, it did.
It was orange.
Yeah, someone yacked and it was just bright orange, like
Orange.
neon orange. It was
Like
it
he'd
was-
eaten like 3 or 4 packets of Kraft dinner cheese.
Oh yeah,
Just the cheese, and then threw up.
it was so bad. Anyway, so one of the events was it was a partner event, and someone had to stand in a bucket of ice water,
That was me.
which was Leslie, and the other person had to lie basically at their feet and receive marshmallows dipped in mustard. And they had to drop the marshmallows into the mouths of the person laying on the floor.
So it was a hit and miss target thing.
Yeah, and whoever ate the most marshmallows won. Did we win that one?
Let's just say yes.
Of course we did.
We better.
We are the victorious Thought Sprinkles.
That not bad actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, marshmallows with mustard, not horrible. It sounds like it would be. Kind of liked it a little bit.
I feel like
Kind of eat it every night now. Just kidding, I don't.
I feel like I missed several times and it landed on your face and then like stayed there because the mustard just like
Yeah.
glued it
Oh
to
no,
your
you
face.
missed a lot. There, but it was kind of convenient because the hoodie I was wearing at the time, the inside of it was mustard yellow. So no damage was done.
Nice.
Okay.
And I have that hoodie still, actually.
Wow.
It's way too small for me now. And it's just sitting at work. I wore it to work one day, and then
You just left.
I just left it there, and it's been on the same hook ever since. For years, it's been there.
Are you gonna take it out after you leave?
Absolutely not.
You're just gonna leave it as an heirloom of the location.
It's theirs now.
The mustard hoodie.
It's survived renovations, all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Like every spring cleaning, no
Amazing.
one's even picked it up.
Nope. That's goes to show how trashy that place is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty gross everywhere in that store.
Ew. It always struck me as a kind of gross one.
Oh, it's super sketchy as well.
Our whole neighborhood is sketchy.
Yes.
I have a short story. So the other day, I was driving, and it was like probably 10 at night. So the sun is like pretty much down. Yeah. This was like a few weeks ago, and I don't know where I was going, but I was leaving to go somewhere at 10 p.m.
Okay, as you do.
As you do. I probably forgot something, and then whatever, not important. So I'm driving down this dark road in my teeny tiny little itty bitty baby car, and this guy launches himself from the side of the road and stands in the middle of the road like all
What?
spread eagle. He's like staring at me.
Like he wants you to hit him?
Yeah, and I was so
What?
mad. I like laid on the horn, which by the way, the horn in my car is pathetic. It's like beep. That's what it sounds
Like it's not even loud.
No, it's not very loud. I'm so sure half the people I've honked at have not even heard me. But like,
Actually,
How
that
fitting.
reminds me of
So
another thing.
wait,
I'll
let
let
me-
you finish. I'll let you finish.
so he like jumps out and he's like staring at. He's like, it's like that scene in The Dark Knight where he's like, hit me, I want you to hit me. And so I'm laying on the horn, and I don't stop as early as I should have. Like, I get really close. Like, I'm a foot away from him. And then because my car is a not an automatic, I rev my engine at him as like loud as I can, and I see the fear of God like burn through his skull. I scarred him. I
did
could
he
see
leave?
it in his eyes. And then he like ran away, and I drove off, and I felt like really vindicated.
Power.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good moment.
Okay. So
Okay.
my story. My story. This actually happened a couple days ago. It's a short story. There was a guy who I don't think we filled his gas, but he was at the gas station. I think it was like a big pickup truck. Like I think it had the tires that were a little bigger than standard issue. Like he probably modded it. I know for a fact that he modded it because he blew his horn. This was not a regular truck horn. This was full-blown fish trolley horn.
Oh, like a foghorn?
Yeah. Well, more like what you get on the delivery trucks.
Oh yeah.
And you just blew it, and the lady who was closest to him jumped like half a foot in the air, just whoop. And I was like, flippin' heck. And then he drives off, and he is spewing black smoke. I think he circles around a couple of times. And my coworker and I talk about it. He tells me that it's actually illegal to have that kind of horn in your truck because of the cars that it's preserved for. But dude, that's if you're spewing out black smoke.
That's his whole. Just throw the whole car away at that point.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like I gave the wrong impression on my last story. I did stop before I hit the guy.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
You didn't hit the guy.
Okay.
No, you didn't. It was pretty clear that you didn't hit the guy.
Well, yeah. But, like, I was stopped. Great. Okay, anyway.
Okay. If you want to tell your stories, put those in the comments. Probably not.
Yeah, I want to hear your stories. If
Yeah.
people watching have
Yeah.
stories, put them in the comments. We'll
Put your
read
stories
them.
in the comments, and we'll read them in a future episode once we've amassed enough comments.
Or we'll make up comments and say that you wrote them.
Or we'll tell stories, and we'll see if you can guess which scenario they're based on.
Or this podcast will turn into a short storytelling Wow. I'm having a
Versation.
stroke.
And will not live up to its title. Okay.
Yes.
So, we will see you next time, I suppose. Bye.
Bye, dudes.
Bye.
Anyway.
Don't you remember from Wreck-It Ralph?
No, I don't remember Wreck-It Ralph.